And it was a lot of Chiefs, especially at the top. Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Honey Badger, Chris Jones. But then I said it's the Super Bowl. Situational football is going to mean a lot. Let's go to 15. And 9 of the 15 best players were Tampa players. So Kansas City had better high-end talent. Tampa's got more good players. Well, Pro Football Focus, we like to call ours Herd Football Focus. That was ours. So Pro Football Focus came out yesterday. So this is mine, 9 of 15. So what we said, a lot of Chiefs early, almost all Buccaneers. In fact, from 8 to 15, all Buccaneers on our list except one. Well, Pro Football Focus came out and did the same thing. And it was surprising how similar it was.
Their top 5 the same?
Our top 5 is the same. They did the exact same thing. So 6 through 15, all Buccaneers except Honey Badger. Now, Mahomes, 1, Travis Kelce, 3, Tyreek Hill, 4, Chris Jones, 5. So what does that tell you? It tells you if the Buccaneers can take away the explosion play, Tampa has more players to grind for 4 hours. They got more good players. Now, sensational players, Kansas City has more. And remember, even knowing that, it should be noted that in the first quarter, when these two teams did meet, they couldn't stop Tyreek Hill. It was 17-0 Chiefs after a quarter. The score is misleading. It was 27-24 Chiefs, but it was 17-0 in about 5 minutes. It felt like the game was over. But both Pro Football Focus and the Herd Football Focus, a new company I just formed 5 minutes ago, it was the exact same. You know, they use data, we use gut instinct, but it comes down to the same thing. Top 5 players, they got most of them.
We use Manalytics.
Yeah, Manalytics. After about 6, it's all Bucks. Bucks have the deeper roster. So that tells you can double bracket Tyreek, keep him out, just take away. He had 270 yards against the Bucks secondary. That's the issue. You know, so the game comes down, can Tampa ugly it up a little? We got more good players than they do. We just got no huge Mahomes over-the-top touchdowns. We just can't give those up. We did the first time. We got blitzed. All right, Willie McGinnis, who I think I could be wrong on this, he may have the most sacks. Didn't he have the most sacks in NFL playoff history? He does, 16. In the history of NFL playoffs, he's got the most sacks. Willie McGinnis, 3-time Super Bowl champ with the Patriots, joining us next. Any credit card can offer cash back. Anybody can do that. But Discover, their card matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. All of it. How about that? Cash back match. You don't even have to send a thank you note. It's like one of those birthday cards shaped like cash. You know it's cash inside before opening it. No thank you note, though. Cash back match. It's only by Discover Card, which is accepted at 99% of the places that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/match. The Discover Card. Something brighter. Heard brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. So nice to be in here today. Well, the other day I just suggested something. I thought it was reasonable. I said, Deshaun Watson, who could go after him? Because Deshaun Watson has like veto power. And I said, well, John Gruden outside of Belichick may have the most power in the NFL. He's got like 7 years remaining on his contract, 7 or 8. He's got more power than his GM. I think he kind of handpicked him. And the owner, Mark Davis, worships Gruden. So you can make a deal for Deshaun Watson, but you got to have a coach. This is why the Rams could get Matt Stafford, because the owner believes in Sean McVay. So Gruden's got a ton of power. So that's the first thing I looked at is what coach has the power to pull it off? Belichick or Gruden could give up, they would just bulldoze their GM. Even Andy Reid wouldn't bulldoze Brett Veach. Brett's too respected. And Andy's got power, but it wouldn't do that. But Belichick wouldn't, Gruden would. When I suggested that, Raider Nation went haywire. So I have been told 3 things. This is what I have been told by people close to Gruden. He would move off Derek Carr. He likes him, but he'd move off him. 2, Gruden is concerned that with Mahomes and Justin Herbert in his division 4 times a year, he feels like he has a significantly less talented quarterback. He wants to go to a star. And third, he's got the power to do it. So I believe, and we're just going to put, I'm not going to talk about all the quarterbacks. Let's just talk about the good ones. There's basically two groups of quarterbacks in the NFL. I would call the first the no argument group. They're great. You sound like an idiot arguing they're not. There's not many of them. There's 6. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. Stop talking. They're great. Some are playmakers, some are big, some are fast, some are strong. Some, like Brady, just elevate everybody. Nobody's arguing. This is the no argument class. They're different. They play different. They look different. They throw different. They may run different. Then there's the guys that are really good. I mean, they start in the NFL. They're good. But we argue about them all the time. And there's about 8 or 9 of these guys. Lamar, we don't love the way he throws. Dak, we just like everything but the throwing part. Kirk Cousins shrinks. Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Herbert, and Jared Goff. Now, I'm not going to count Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield yet. You might, but just give me 7 more games with each. Let me see Baker after success if he puts weight on again. And Kyler is getting better, but let's see about 7, 8 games. I think Burrow will be in this very quick. So we've got 2 food groups here. The 6, no argument. The 9, we argue about how good they are. So let me ask you, if you want to get a no argument guy from an argument guy, what's it worth? Well, in negotiations, the key is, what do I need? What void do you fill? So the Houston Texans need a better infrastructure, and they need a happy quarterback. So they get Derek Carr, and let's say 3 number 1 picks and a player. So I got a happy quarterback, I get a good player, and great draft picks. I don't have any, I need them. What the Raiders need is a superstar that can go toe-to-toe with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, and they feel like our guy's as good as their guy. It serves both needs. It's not outrageous. It actually makes a ton of sense. And there's stories out today, the Raiders, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, several NFL insiders expect the Raiders to take calls. They may need a third team. They believe that Derek Carr is worth 2 first-round picks. I do, too, if they're middle first round to later first round. I'm not giving up the second pick and the second pick back-to-back years for him, but I'd give up the 17th and the 21st for him. But it's just not that unrealistic. There's only 2 real groups of quarterbacks, the good quarterbacks in this league. The 6 guys we just don't argue, you sound like an idiot. And then the others that you can have real arguments. Who's better? Stafford, Matt Ryan, Dak. You can have real arguments about this stuff. And the question becomes, the Raiders need a star, they believe. The Texans need a happy quarterback and an infrastructure realignment, and it serves both. I don't think it's nuts. I mean, the Raiders lost 4 one-possession games last year and went 8-8. They're close. Deshaun gets them to 11-5. And by the way, the Houston Texans with Deshaun went 4-12. So how much? You need infrastructure. Texans are better with Derek Carr.